What's up troops, it's me TheTacticalBrit, and today the mid-season reinforcements were announced for Rainbow Six Siege. And today I'm going to be going through each one of them and giving you my opinion on them, and this will be a quick summary of everything that's happening. So first and foremost, we have the free map of Bartlett University, which is great. It's been a while since we've seen this in the game, other than the situations of course, and it's a big map and fantastic to have in the final game, finally, after what has felt like a long wait. The Lord and Saviour, Shankha, has been buffed, and he now gets a shield on his LMG which has 500 HP. Now, I think this is decent. I feel as though Shankha should not be one-shotted in the head. He should have the ability to fire back, and I feel as though the 500 HP shield stops him from being instantly headshotted. Obviously, being a stationary target means he's literally just a headshot victim all the time, so allowing him to have a very heavy shield is a good idea. I also think like the overall basis of him being able to shoot back as a result of this is very helpful too. So a good buff for Shankha, and he probably will finally be a semi-useful operator, but bearing in mind a lot of his midsection will still be exposed. Blackbeard's shield has now been nerfed to roughly 65 HP, which means it will be destroyed in about 1 or 2 bullets now, and his ADS is also slower. I feel as though this has completely nerfed Blackbeard out of use. He seems to just be entirely useless now as a result of this, and I just don't think that was a fair nerf. I feel as though maybe a slightly slower ADS but keeping the shield the same would have been okay, but the fact that it gets killed in 1 to 2 shots now is pointless. I mean, let's be honest, if you destroy the shield in 1 to 2 bullets, it doesn't mean he's going to be able to put the second one on. It means he's going to get killed from a headshot, which just completely devoids Blackbeard of all use, and I feel like that was far too harsh on the behalf of Ubisoft. Moving on, Fuse now has 3 cluster charges, and it also has more range, and again, not too sure why this was done. I felt like Fuse was fine as he was. Maybe more range with 2 cluster charges would make sense, but 3 seems way too excessive. As it is, they already get past active protection systems, so giving 3 cluster charges is just, in my opinion, unfair, especially considering how good the AK-12 is as a weapon. Bandit now gets a 4th battery, and I think that's okay. I feel like Bandit's guns aren't the best in the world, but he also isn't the worst operator in the world. I feel as though the extra Bandit charge is going to be a good counter towards the likes of Thermite and Hibana, especially considering now there are 2 operators who can bust through reinforced walls. Extra stuff is needed. Glaz has had his sniper rifle buffed. It now has less recoil and a faster rate of fire. I feel as though this is decent, but I'm worried that Glaz is going to become too much of a close range operator. Now let's be honest, Glaz isn't too bad at the moment, he isn't the best, but I feel as though by doing both of these at the same time, there's no reason Glaz can't be an up close and personal operator and take you out with 1 or 2 shots, so I feel as though that's something that they need to be wary of. I feel as though he could potentially become rather overpowered within this next patch. Smoke has received a buff as well. Smoke will now be able to throw his canisters further now, and they will move like grenades. So much like the impact grenades, they'll move very quickly, as opposed to a lob that we see with the nitro cell. So I feel like that's a good buff for Smoke. I feel like Smoke has needed a buff. His weapons aren't the best in the world, and this is a nice indirect buff for him by completely manipulating how he throws his charges. SMGs across the whole seem to be getting a buff. This wasn't entirely laid out, but the UMP, the Frost 9mm, the FMG9, and Caviera's M12 is also going to be buffed. The MPX, I believe, is the only one that is not going to be buffed, and all of them are going to get slightly less recoil. The MPX appears to be the only one that has been left out. Shields can now absorb explosive damage. Finally, if you are using a shield operator, an impact grenade or nitro cell will not kill you if you are facing it directly. So finally, shields will now absorb damage from explosives, which I think is a fantastic move. So guys, that's it for this summary video of the reinforcements. What do you guys think of all the changes I have listed? I feel as though some of them make sense, but I feel as though they've thrown 1 or 2 operators into positions of complete power, and operators such as Blackbeard have just been sort of thrown into the dust. So it could be quite interesting. On the whole, I think it's a very positive improvement, and I forgot to mention as well, there's also a lighting overhaul coming, which is going to be fantastic to stop all the god lights that we face, but that's about it in terms of everything that's going on. It's been me, the Tactical Brit. As always, let me know what you think down in the description below, and thank you for watching.